Hello guys and girls, this is King Lear from Proceed to Checkpoint. This is gonna be a Meet the Bros episode where basically I talk a little bit about what's going on in the channel at the moment and what you can expect to see in the future, and also kind of answer some questions about myself if anyone's curious about me and my gaming history and that kind of thing. I apologize if I'm not looking at the camera or if it's a bit awkward. Honestly, this is the first time I've talked to a webcam since a job interview about 3 years ago, so this is a little bit new to me. First of all, let me apologize on behalf of myself and the other bros for the lack of videos over the last kind of 2 weeks or so. We've all well and truly been absorbed into Final Fantasy XIV, so that has taken a lot of our time over the last little while. We're back now. You can expect to see a lot more clips and the continuation of the series that we have going on the channel, as well as some new stuff as well. So our apologies for disappearing for a little while. You all know what it's like when a new game comes out, I'm sure. In terms of what's going on at the channel at the moment, our Feed the Bros series from myself is still continuing, as well as the Game of Thrones one, so you can definitely expect to see more of that. We're going to throw some other Minecraft stuff into the mix, just so it's not just Feed the Bros going on. There's going to be some adventure maps and maybe some group work and things, some PvP games, that kind of thing. So you can definitely expect to see some of that coming over the next couple of weeks. As well as that, I just got my Hearthstone beta key yesterday. So I'm in the process of recording some Hearthstone clips right now. I've been waiting for the key forever. I've been watching all the other YouTubers playing it and waiting patiently for my key, so that's finally come through. So you can definitely expect to see me playing some arena games, some card opening. There's going to be a card opening video maybe tomorrow or over the weekend, because as soon as I got my key I dropped 40 quid on buying the most expensive pack of cards. So there's definitely going to be a pack opening clip anyway. I got some nice cards in that should be a good one. And when a few more of the bros get keys and things, we'll definitely have some duels and some games like that going on. So that's what's going on at the channel at the moment from myself. I know the rest of the bros are continuing the series that they have going on, and there's some other things in store, so keep an eye out on the channel and don't forget to subscribe, because we have a lot of content coming for you guys. So, questions. Now these are from both fans who are watching our series, from our forums, Twitter, Facebook, and then there's also other questions that the other bros put to me as well. So this is just going to be a little bit about myself, my gaming history, and that kind of thing. So the first question I have is, where are you from? Now, I'm Irish. I'm not sure how obvious it is from the accent. Sometimes I have a really strong accent, sometimes I don't. It depends on the day, really. So I'm from just south of Dublin, so you might hear a bit of a Dublin accent in there at times. Do you have a pet? I do have a pet. I have a pet snake called Adrian. I take her out to show you, but she's just been fed, so she's kind of hibernating and chewing her food right now, so I can't take her out. She's just going on 3 years old, I think. I've had her a good while. When I moved house, I left her in Dublin with my family to take care of, but I brought her down with me now, so I have her here. If anyone's interested, I can upload a little vine of her or a clip of her and post that on Twitter at some stage, just so you can see. Another of the questions we have here is, what is your favorite book? So I read a lot. It's something I really enjoy to do, and my favorite book I've ever read, actually, it's not a fiction or anything like that. One of the ones that interested me most was this book here. So Reality is Broken, by Jane McGonigal, and the tagline of that book is "Why Games Make Us Better and How They Can Change the World." It's a book written by a games designer about how gaming improves the lives of people and helps them develop different skills and things, and can be used to help the world in general. It goes through simple things like using games to improve things you do every day, like cleaning and cooking, but then it also goes into deeper things like using games for medical research, such as the DNA folding game that, well, not really game, but the crowdsourcing application that was out, and also using games to teach people and how to teach people to work together and develop teamwork and that kind of thing. If you've an interest in games design or the theory and psychology behind games at all, it's definitely worth a read. I know a few of the other bros would actually enjoy this, so I must give them a loan of it at some stage. I'll put a link in the description to Amazon where I bought it actually, because if you're interested in that kind of thing, it's definitely worth a read. So, one of the other questions here is, what would be your favourite country to travel to? So I've done a good bit of travelling around the world in the past. Nowhere crazy exotic. I'm not a fan of the sun at all. I don't do Lanzarote or Ibiza or anything like that. I've been to America a few times, mostly to the East Coast, so Boston, Maine, New England, New York, that kind of thing. And I've been around a lot of Europe as well, but mostly Eastern Europe. I've been to Poland and Budapest and places like that a few times. And also Belgium, Germany, Holland, and Austria as well. Those kind of areas, all in the same region. I like staying in Europe because it's a lot more varied. We have a lot of different cultures and languages, and every country is different. So I like staying in Europe and kind of exploring around here a lot. So my favourite country to travel to, I've always had a thing for Sweden. I've never been to Sweden. I have a few Swedish friends I play Warcraft with, and a few Swedish friends and work on that as well. And it's always a country I've wanted to travel to, but I haven't yet. And I know what you're thinking. I don't just want to travel there because they have blonde chicks. I also hear that they like drinking almost as much as the Irish, so I wouldn't mind going out and getting pissed over in Sweden at some stage. If any of you are Swedish and you have a place for me to crash over there, let me know. Maybe I'll come over. Do you have any hobbies other than gaming? So honestly, the Proceed channel takes up a lot of my free time right now, and I know it's the same for a lot of the lads as well. All of the bros have full-time jobs, and between editing and recording and story writing and script writing and things as well, it doesn't leave much time for anything else, to be perfectly honest. Even one episode of Feed the Bros might take a day or two after work to edit and render and write and all of that as well. When I do have time, I love to read. I have a massive list of books that I want to get through right now. I'm more into fantasy than anything else. I'm not really a big sci-fi fan. So I do try and read it on my Kindle as much as I possibly can when I get the time for it. I've always had a thing for photography, although I'm kind of between cameras right now, so that's slipped off a little bit until I can get the cash to pick up a decent camera and get back into that. And I've always enjoyed writing as well. I used to write a lot as a kid. I don't so much anymore. However, writing the Feed the Bros episodes and the storylines with Angie is definitely getting me back into that and giving me my fix. So who is your favorite YouTuber? One of my favorite YouTubers is actually Shin from the Yogscast. One of the things that drew me to his channel originally was his Let's Build series, because he builds some pretty amazing stuff in Minecraft. Multiplayer maps, special buildings, his own kind of worlds, and even some awesome recreations of scenes from movies. For example, I know he's recently done a build series in Minecraft of the Lonely Mountain and the town around it. So they're pretty cool, and I really enjoy that. I watch a lot of his clips. How did you first get into gaming? I have no idea what age I was when I got my first console and started gaming. I can tell you what the console was though. It was a Sega Mega Drive. I didn't start any earlier. I've never been big into Nintendo really, other than the Pokemon games. never been a huge Mario fan or anything like that. I started with Sonic the Hedgehog on the Sega, and since then I was hooked. Spent way too much time on the Sega as a kid, and I was more of a console gamer until recent years when I've started switching to the PC. But the Sega as a kid is definitely what got me started into the whole thing. Why King Lear as a handle? So there's an old Irish legend called the Children of Lear. I actually have a tattoo based on it, but I'm not going to show you that. The story behind it is basically there's these children that are cursed by an evil woman, and they're turned into swans, and they have to live on the lake together near their father's castle for hundreds of years until the curse is broken. And the curse can only be broken by hearing the bells of a church toll. So I've always been really into Irish mythology and lore and stories and folklore and things like that. So that's why I picked this particular handle. I did have another handle I used online for a good while, but when I started the Proceed stuff, I figured it was time to make a change, and that's when I changed my handle and chose King Lear. Your first console, first game, and first game completed. So the first console, as I said earlier, was the Sega Mega Drive. My first game was Sonic the Hedgehog 2. God, I loved that game. Both that and Sonic and Knuckles I got when I got my Sega originally, and I was obsessed with them as a kid. It was the first game I completed from beginning to end, like completed the whole thing. Sometimes I miss games that don't have save points in them. If you wanted to clear Sonic, you made the time for it and you sat down, and you were fucking careful, because if you died, game over and you had to start again and you've wasted your day. It was pretty tough, but yeah, they were my first and I really enjoyed them. What would you consider your biggest gaming accomplishment? I'm pretty proud of my achievement score in World of Warcraft, to be honest. I'm over 13,000 achievement points, and I don't really raid that much, so most of these are like exploration quests, pets, random things like that, rather than raiding achievements. So yeah, I'm pretty proud that my achievement score rivals or is above a lot of the hardcore raider guys, purely through like exploration and pet battles and side things like that. Other than that, honestly, one of the things I'm most proud of, and it's a bit of a weird one because it's not hugely tough, but it's maxing the achievement points on Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the original one, Call of Duty 4. Finally finishing Mile High Club on veteran mode was such an adrenaline rush. I really enjoyed that. It took me a couple of days and I'm well proud of that. What are the top 4 games you've ever played and why? So my number 1 game, actually these aren't going to be in any particular order because I can't list them in order. They're all amazing in their own right. I'm going to mention games here, but sometimes it's more the series than the games that interest me. Games solely for the Sega Mega Drive, or if you're from outside of Europe, I think it was called Crusader of Century. That was the first RPG I ever played, and it really started an obsession with the genre and with fantasy as well, because it was the first experience with a kind of fantasy world I've had. It's a pretty simple top-down 2D RPG, standard Zelda style stuff, where basically you're a boy who is cursed and can only talk to animals but not other humans, and you have to go around helping animals and trying to lift the curse. Really enjoyed that game, played the shit out of it, and just absolutely love everything about it, and it really did start an obsession with the RPG genre. Another one, this is more of a series than a game, but I'm going to mention one game in particular, and that's Grand Theft Auto 3. I've always loved the GTA series, the 2D ones on PlayStation, loved them to bits and played them a lot. Grand Theft Auto 3 was such a big move because it moved into the 3D world for the GTA series, and honestly the difference it made was incredible. The series since GTA 3 has just continued to evolve more and more with every iteration that comes out, but that's kind of the one that stands out as starting it all and kind of rewriting the series itself. And and a lot of other games have been influenced by that as well. If you look at the likes of even Payday or Saints Row or other games like that, a lot of them get their influence from Grand Theft Auto and Grand Theft Auto 3. So for that reason, I think it's an amazing game. Another one is original PlayStation Tomb Raider 3. Again, more of a series than the game itself, but Tomb Raider 3 was the first of the series I played. It was the first 3D adventure game I played when I originally upgraded to PlayStation. I got a copy of it from one of my uncles that was into gaming at the time, and I played it to death. It was nails. I didn't actually finish it until a couple of years afterwards. I just used to pop on and just try and kill things and get stuck on puzzles. But I thought it was fantastic, and the entire Tomb Raider series I just love. After I cleared 3, I went back and played the originals 1 and 2, and I've played all of them since then, Revelations, Underworld, and I just love the fact that it's not just action games. There's action and shooting and things in there, but then there's also puzzles and things thrown in there as well, some of which are pretty like brain teasing. So yeah, I really enjoy them. Even the new one that just came out has a bit of thinking and strategy involved in it, and it's just not pure action, which is pretty rare for a game these days, but it's something I really like. And again, it's a series and a game that a lot of other games have taken influence from and kind of learned from. So I really do think the Tomb Raider series started a trend, and a really good one that's carried on through gaming over the years. So my fourth game, you're going to be looking at me like I'm crazy when I say this. Why did I pick this game? But I'm going to pick Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast. So why that game? This was the first multiplayer game I ever played back when I originally got my PC. Back when MSN Gaming Zone was a thing and we were all playing on 56k modems at the time, I think it was. Some of you probably remember worse than that, but I started on a 56k. The first other gamers I met online, the first clan I joined, the first mod packs and texture packs I installed, and editing of game files I did, this was all done in this game. The first time I played on a team and chatted with other real people about games, and even later on as I got more into the game, the first mod packs I made, the first levels and textures I designed and coded and things. This game really started not only my obsession with online gaming, but also my enjoyment of level editing, design, coding, which I actually went to college to study, so it's a bit of an odd choice for one of my favourite games ever, but I have a serious amount to look back and thank that game for. It kind of started a lot for me. Another of the questions here, this one, it actually took me a long time to come up with an answer for this one, and I'm still not happy with it, but we'll go ahead anyway. The worst game you've ever played. So I'm going to pick one that's fresh in my mind. It's probably not the worst game I've ever played, but as I said, I drew a blank on this one. So Bully Scholarship Edition. I bought this in the Steam sale this summer. Maybe that's why it's in my head. It's a recent purchase, but it's a ridiculous game. You're a little shit in school who's playing pranks on people, going to class to bring your grades up, trying to chat up other girls in school. That's the gist of it, basically. The graphics are terrible, the gameplay isn't amazing. It's a pretty dire game. For a game that came out from a Rockstar studio in 2006, there's absolutely no excuse for that shit. So what game are you most looking forward to, and why? I hate to choose a game that's already been released, but it hasn't been released on my platform of choice yet, so I'm going to go with GTA 5. As I said earlier, I love the GTA series. I've been waiting patiently to play this game for a while, and it looks like it's going to be incredible, but I don't actually own a console at the moment. I gave my Xbox as a loan to a friend of mine, and I haven't got it back yet since, so I can't play GTA on Xbox, and I'm just waiting patiently for it to come out on PC. I'm purposely avoiding watching any Let's Plays or footage or trailers or anything because I don't want to spoil any of it, but when that comes out, it's gonna be something I really enjoy and I'm looking forward to it. So this is an interesting one. If you had an unlimited budget to have the game studio of your choice make a sequel to or remake any game, what game or studio would you choose? So I had a little think about this, and I'm going to go back to one of the games I mentioned earlier. Star Wars Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast. Honestly, the fond memories I have of that game are, I have so many. I would have DICE remake that game in the Frostbite engine, because I think that would be absolutely amazing. And I'd have them keep in the map designer, the mod maker, the character designer, and all of those tools that players could use in that game to create their own content, because honestly, that would be incredible and I would have so much fun with it. It's a pipe dream, but it's nice to think about, so that's definitely what I choose for that. We're pretty much out of questions. There's only one more question here, and this might cause a bit of controversy. But our final question is PS4 or Xbox One, and my answer is Xbox, purely because since I switched from PlayStation 2 to the original Xbox, I've been Xbox all the way. I'm nothing against the PS4. I think it's going to be a brilliant console, and I really admire what Sony have done with it. But I have to find out what happens in Halo. So I have to buy an Xbox to continue the Halo series. That's basically it. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you found this interesting, and you've learnt a little bit about me and about what we do here on the channel. If you've any more questions that you'd like us to answer for any of the bros, because a couple of them might do a video like this as well, or even if you've any more questions that you'd like me to answer, feel free to drop us a comment, or hit us up on Twitter or Facebook or anything like that, and we'll make sure to answer your questions in our next clip. Thanks for watching then, guys. Please, if you're interested, subscribe to the channel. We're working on a lot of content right now that I really think you're going to enjoy. So keep in touch, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter and check us out on Facebook for more updates and things. Thanks for watching, guys.